Welcome back to the Swang Low Podcast Show. It is yours truly, Do Rock Creek. What's happening with all my people out there tonight, man? Welcome back to this round table. You feel me? Hey, look, before I go any further, please allow me this opportunity to thank all my new subscribers. Man, I appreciate you all for joining me, joining this team. You know what I'm saying? You are definitely embraced with open arms. Thank you for choosing the Swing Low Podcast Show to come spend your time with, man. You won't be disappointed. We are all here as one family. You know what I'm saying? Which means everybody's participation and opinions count. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, offer up suggestions on different things that you might want to be curious about, that you might want to ask me about, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's about prison, about LA County Jail, about, whatever, man, as long as we ain't, trying to bring up no convictions and solve no cases. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that over here at the Swing Low Podcast Show. There's enough of that going on the internet. You know what I mean? We do not indulge. You know what I'm saying? What we do here, we bring different topics, different things, man. Really, it can be about anything, about just regular life, period. You know what I'm saying? But we try to figure it out here together as one. You know what I mean? We bring it, put it on the table, pass it around. You know what I'm saying? And you know, everybody got input. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your input is, it ain't no right or wrong answers. We come here, we figure it out together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do here, man. If you ain't already got that vibe, feel this vibe, feel it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we about. You know what I'm saying? And again, thank y'all, man, for joining us. Thank you for choosing the Swing Low Podcast Show. You know what I'm saying? To all the new viewers that haven't liked, subscribed, or drop a comment in any of that or share it, you know what I'm saying? Please do so. It's all for free. It don't cost you a dime to hit the subscription button. It don't cost you a dime to like something. It don't cost you a dime to leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? When we doing these lives, jump in the chat. I always encourage people jump in the chat. I got my mods in there. You know what I'm saying? They typically jump in on a lot of the things that we present to the round table. You know what I'm saying? Have some very smart, intelligent people. You know what I'm saying? I have been blessed to have my mods. All of them. You know what I'm saying? That hold me down. Well, we hold each other down. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. Like I said, it's nothing but love, nothing but respect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's opinion count. So hit that chat, bang that chat. If y'all want to know something, if you don't know it by now, we be active in that chat. All throughout the show, I'm active in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you need to bring to us, put it in the chat. As long as it's respectful. You don't do disrespect well here. You know what I'm saying? That won't get you very far. So I always encourage, respect. You respect me, I will respect you. You feel me? And my mods and my viewers, my subscribers, everybody's gonna respect everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's just how we get down. You feel me? We ain't here to hurt no feelings. You know what I'm saying? Break no laws. We don't encourage it. None of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's what we about, man. And also, let me say, rest in peace to my boy Big Drac from Schoolyard, man. You know what I'm saying? I unfortunately found out about his untimely death um, hours after it happened. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, to wake up and find out something like that, it's just cold, cold game. You know what I'm saying? I just did a show with him. You know what I'm saying? The Hood Postman. You know what I'm saying? With Big Drac and Melly Mill. You know what I'm saying? Melly Mill is the host of the Hood Postman. Go check him out. He got some good content on there. But they embraced me over there, him and Big Drac, man, and we had a good episode together. You know what I'm saying? And plus I did a couple of reactions to some of the stuff that he had said, you know what I'm saying, in which me and him we settled it just as fast as it wasn't really nothing started. It was just a misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I want to send love and blessings to his family, to Big Drax entire family, man. You know what I'm saying? I know this is horrible for y'all to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, when I found out, it just blew me out the water. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So rest up to bro. You know what I'm saying? But all right, moving on though, man. Moving on. Now I know y'all see the thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely a story about a guy that I had ran across, and this was in I was introduced to this person in High Desert State Prison in 2007. I believe I got up there in 2007, right? Um, B Yard, B Yard. High Desert State Prison in 2007, B Yard, right? That's before they shut that yard down and made it a PC yard. You know what I'm saying? That yard was a level 4 yard, right? Up until we got into the riot with the North Daniels up there. Remember, I told y'all about that riot. The time I was sitting on the yard and like 5 of them ran at me with knives. Okay. Now, that situation has a lot to do with the guy that I'm talking about in this story today, right? So anyway, yeah, we was on B Yard, you know what I'm saying? And when this craziness was going down with him, right? Now, the guy Silk is from Fresno Crip, right? Now, it's my understanding. I don't want to put nothing off on the homies or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But he had like an affiliation to the Hoover, the Fresno Hoovers, right? His hood, somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? But I consider him a Fresno Crip, so I'm gonna call him a Fresno Crip. I'm not gonna put him off on the Hoovers. You know what I'm saying? Especially after my last encounter with him. So anyway, this dude name was Silk. He was from Fresno Crip, right? Um, we in High Desert on B Yard, right? Now, when I get up there and the first time I see this dude, at that time he was kind of big, you know what I'm saying? And but he was weird, you know what I'm saying? Like the dude would like when we come out our cell to walk to the kitchen, right? Usually we would all, as far as the blacks go, you know what I'm saying, especially that was all in our section, all the blacks that was in our section, you know what I'm saying, we would all have usalama on each other. Okay, if you don't know what usalama means, usalama is a Swahili word that we use for the word security. Usalama means security in Swahili, right? And that's the word that typically that we would use in prison. You know what I'm saying? To describe like with um look, I got usalam on you, you, and they'll tell me, yeah, I got usalam on you too. Bam, that means like wherever you go, they going. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything pop off, we getting cracking with you. You know what I'm saying? So when we moved around, we moved together in groups. You know what I'm saying? But this dude Silk, he'd just shoot out, pew, and he not only did he walk fast, but he walked like a stiff ass OG cardboard box. You know what I'm saying? Arms wide out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was kind of big at that time. You know what I'm saying? But he used to do that all the time. So I'm like, this dude weird as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, noticing him that way was one thing. But I remember like a lot of the times when we'd go out to the day room, you know what I'm saying? Um, well, the one time that when I noticed him doing what he was doing, I didn't think nothing of it until the other stuff came out, right? Now, remember when I told you about the Usalama, right? So when we go out to the day room, we on the black side. You know what I mean? In the day room, you got the black side on one side of the building, and then you got the Mexican side on the other side. And the people that's on the Mexican side usually is the white boys. You know what I'm saying? Meaning the white boys and the South Siders is on one side of the day room, and then the blacks and the Nortes is on the other side, right? And then you mix in, you sprinkle in the others, in which be the Samoans and Asians and all that. That's what we call the others. So anyway, in the day room, you know what I'm saying? Salama is always on, you know, that whole side of the day room typically. You know what I'm saying? But let's say I go get in the shower. Well, it's gonna be several of my homies around that shower in that area, making sure nobody try to attack me while I'm in the shower. That's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? So I remember being in the shower one time, and I'm in there showering, and I happen to look out at the day room, and I see this dude Silk in the day room, but he's positioned in a part of the day room where you can see inside the shower a little. Like I I never went and just went to that area where he used to always be at, where I seen him at. So I don't know how good of a shot he was getting, but you definitely had he positioned himself to where he had action at looking in that shower, but it wouldn't be too obvious. You know what I'm saying? So when I look, I seen like positioned out there, right? So I'm like, I don't think nothing of it. Bam. You know what I mean? So bam. But I do remember not showering in that shower no more. You know what I'm saying? I remember like, I'm gonna go upstairs somewhere in one of these other ones because um on a 270 yard, the blacks have three showers and the Mexicans have three showers. You know what I mean? So it's like one downstairs, one upstairs, and then it's like that in all three sections. You know what I'm saying? So it's six showers. It's two in this section, two in this section, and two in this section. So being that we had three showers, I can either shower downstairs, upstairs, or in the other section. So bam, that's what I had started doing. Right. Plus, when I get in the shower, like in the showers in the prison, it's bars. You know what I'm saying? So people can actually look inside your shower. You can look out. You know what I'm saying? And then they got them bright ass lights in there. You know what I'm saying? So if you into doing that, you're gonna see, especially if you rubbernecking hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I noticed Silk, I didn't seem like rubbernecking like that. You know what I'm saying? But he was positioned where he can see inside the shower. So bam, I remember somebody else coming up to me saying, like, hey, why this dude always somewhere in the day room where he can look inside the shower? He's always, in the area. So the first thing that hit me is the time when I seen him. I'm like, I said, damn, you right. Because I do remember one time when I was showering down here in a lower shower, him being in that area and I'm tripping, like, you know what I'm saying? So we like, okay, bam. Then a couple of more people come and say something about it. So now we know we're not off. We're not off. Like this dude is on some weird shit, right? So bam, we all surrounded him one night in the day room and told him, like, check it out, nigga. Like, you can't be in the shower area no more. You know what I'm saying? When we out here in the day room and shit, we don't want you in the shower area no more. You know what I'm saying? Find somewhere else to stand around. Oh, I'm just keeping Usalama on me. We don't need you to keep Usalama. You see all these other Crips. We don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So bam, he like, yeah, all right, and he push off. You know what I'm saying? So he stayed away from doing that, right? But mind you, this was 2007. At that time, they still had homosexuals on the main line in high desert. In high desert in 2007, homosexuals were still on the main line. It was a couple of them up there in high desert on that yard, right? I believe it was one in my building, and then like in another building, it was a whole lot of them. But I think it was just one. No, it was two of them. It was two of them in my building, right? Bam, Silk. Somebody had told me. I don't know how true it was, but somebody had told me that he was once married to a woman, and whatever happened between them, she left him, right? She left him. Bam. So they said ever since the lady left him, he been weird, right? But in my mind, the shit that he was doing, I'm like, nah, he had to already have them type of tendencies if you know what I'm saying? Like that don't just happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. Can't nobody feed me like, oh, the woman is what made him. Nah, nah. If you gay, you been gay. Period. So anyway, that's what people were saying there. So they was like, that's why this nigga weird. So anyway, bam, he had a cellie that ended up leaving. So Silk moved one of the homosexuals in the cell with him, right? So I think they was in the cell together for like maybe 3 or 4 days, right? Now, homosexuals in prison, man, is gonna tell on you. You fuck with one of them, they're gonna let everybody know. Period. And the word is just gonna travel about you that you like to lay up with men, right? Period. I've heard that story many and plenty of times by about a whole bunch of motherfuckers, right? So look, he moved a homosexual in the cell with him. Like I said, they in the cell probably 5 days at the most. It wasn't long, you know what I'm saying? But I do remember, like, probably after the second day that this homosexual was in the cell with Silk, the homosexual came out one day while we was in the kitchen and was telling, you know, the people that were sitting at the table with him, like, hey man, I got to move out of that cell with him. Like he in there wearing me out. Every time I wake up, he's asshole naked. You know what I'm saying? Like he in there raping the homosexual over and over again, right? Day and night, to the point where I have never seen a homosexual that had a problem with, right? I have never seen one of them complain about, being in the cell with somebody that was, you know what I'm saying? Like this was, it blew me out the water. I couldn't believe it, right? So of course, like you a Crip, like when it come out, we tripping on it, and the homosexual speaking on the shit too. So we tripping on this shit. But anyway, at the all this is happening like in a matter of days, right? And mind you, I wasn't at that time when all this was happening and going on. I wasn't even at high desert that long. I had just had got there probably like 2 months when all this was going on, right? So bam, I didn't know everybody that was on the yard. Not then, right? Being that I was new. So anyway, I remember we on the yard, me and a couple of more Crips. We standing around talking, and this one guy, I'm not gonna say his name, and I'm not gonna say where he's from, right? But he was a Crip, right? He come out of nowhere. Now he's kind of a fat dude, like not sloppy fat. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no little dude. But when he push up on us, he come out of nowhere. I don't see him, but when he get up on it, he kind of bump into me, right? He was aggressive when he walked up. He was aggressive because he was like was like, where that nigga Silk at? Right? But while he's saying that, he's so pumped up, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because he was on a mission. You know what I'm saying? But he bumped into me. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, man, who the fuck is you? Right? So I'm ready to trip, but I seen his demeanor. He was on a mission. He was on down. You know what I'm saying? So I just left it alone, right? So we like, man, he over there. So he shoot off immediately, make his way across the yard straight to Silk. Now, the reason why he was on one like that is because Silk had wrote that dude's homeboy a letter, right? Saying how much he wanted to have sex with him, what he could do to him, you know what I'm saying? How sexy he thought he was, all that. He wrote this man the coldest sex letter, you feel me, that you can ever imagine. Imagine yourself, I know it's a lot of dudes watching this. Imagine yourself sitting down writing your girl, your wife, your significant other, a cold sex letter. You know what I'm saying? Like what you gonna do and how you gonna do it and all that, right? Graphically, right? I know how graphic I can be when I talk to my girl Morticia. You know what I'm saying? So, just imagine, man, right? So bam, that's why this dude is on one, right? Now, the person that he wrote that letter to, I'm not gonna say his name either, but also a Crip, right? And what no joke. That was the cold thing about it. Like, this is how crazy this dude Silk was and how much of a butt pirate he was, right? A serial butt pirate, right? Bam. So, oh boy, they bump into me, he push off, bam, straight to Silk across the yard, right? Go over there, they have words back and forth, you know what I'm saying? He tried to get off on Silk. Silk slipped his punch and crack him one time, bam, knock him. Knocked the dude out that bumped into me, right? Cold. He out cold, right? I'm talking about on his back with his arms in the air like this, still balled, with his fist balled up, you know what I'm saying, and his mouth open, snoring. And we heard him snoring all the way across the yard. We probably 100 feet away from him and heard the snore clear. I mean, usually when something going on like that, something happened, the yard get quiet as a motherfucker. Or if they know something to go down, the yard get quiet. They get eerily quiet, right? So this nigga 100 feet away from us on his back with his arms in the air and his fist balled up and his mouth open. You know what I'm saying? Snoring like a motherfucker, right? Guess what Silk do? After Silk knock him out, Silk run all the way across the yard, made his way through the security gate straight to the program office. The program office is the police headquarters, right? That's where the sergeants, the lieutenants, and all the police is there. He ran straight over there, right? So we tripping like, what the fuck? So whatever he went in that program office and told them, they came out that motherfucker deep, right? Screaming, get out! Everybody get on the fucking ground, get out, right? Mind you, bro is still over here asleep on his back, but he's starting to move now, right? This was a long time he was out. He's starting to move now. So we over there, we in the Crip area. So we over there probably like 50 deep. And we all looking like, God damn, man, like somebody need to go help this nigga, wake him up or something, man. Cause if they find him like that, they finna trip. So bam, nobody helping. But he's coming too. But as he's trying to get up, he keep falling back out. So now the police is making their way all over, but they was focused on us, the Crips, right? Which was some cold shit. So bam, he finally was able to get up enough to walk over where it was some other blacks at and sit down next to him, but he fell back out with his he was sitting up, but he fell out with his head in between his legs. Right. So now you got some blacks over there like shaking him. You know what I'm saying? We like, damn man, the homie fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to get his composure a little bit, but the police ended up seeing his whole side of his face is swollen up from with silk sock, right? So bam, now they tripping. So they all come to the Crips. They trying to strip search us on the yard. We like, nah, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to either take us in or do whatever, but you're not gonna strip us naked out here. And we ain't done shit. You know what I'm saying? So that situation ended up, and how I say Silk was connected to that riot that we had with the North Days is because when he did that and we refused to strip for them on the yard, that put all of us on lockdown, right? We all the Crips were, I say 95% of the Crips was on lockdown. So when that riot happened with the North Days, 95% of the Crips was on lockdown. Just so happened I had did some crazy shit and was able to sneak out and made it to the yard and walked right into a fucking riot. Had five of them running with knives. I told y'all about that story. Go back and watch that show, man. But yeah, so that's how Silk is connected to that, right? So bam, you know, let's fast forward. Well, we ain't gonna fast forward because I'm gonna say this. The person that he wrote that letter to, his homies ended up catching Silk and wore him out. They wasn't playing with him, you know what I'm saying, at all. Like they wherever he went, they was gonna wear him out, period. You know what I'm saying? But they ended up catching up to him, you know what I'm saying? And they wore his ass out. You feel me? Like wore him out decently, you know. So bam. Fast forward, probably, some years later, man. And I run into Silk again. This is in a different prison. Now, years has passed since that incident on the yard. And mind you, I told you how big he was back then. I get to the other prison and I'm there and I see this dude, right? And I'm looking at him, but I'm like, damn, I know him from somewhere. But it's not registering to me that it's Silk because this nigga lost a gang of weight, right? Back then in High Desert, he had hair. When I ran into him in the other prison, he didn't have no hair and he had lost a gang of weight, but that walk was the same. So the walk is what caught my attention. I'm like, damn, I know him. I seen the walk and then I seen his face. I'm like, I know him from somewhere, but I'm not sure, right? He knew who I was from day one, right? And he waited probably like, I don't know, man, probably like a month or two, you know what I'm saying, before he even acknowledged that we knew each other, right? Because every time I seen him, he'd smile, but keep going. He never said nothing. He never said shit to me, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, man, I know this walk. So now I'm asking people, I'm like, where that dude from? Is he from Fresno? Right? So they're like, nah, but we think he's from up north somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, he ain't from Fresno. I'm like, damn, then I don't know this nigga. He just looked familiar. You walk like somebody and all that I know. So one day we in passing inside the building, right? And I seen we walked past. He had that voice. What's up, homie? Right? I swear to God, like it was a slow, monotone, deep, psychotic ass sounding voice. You know what I'm saying? So you can tell dude was institutionalized as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You can tell he wasn't all there. You know what I mean? And you can tell he was weird as fuck. and he had that booty bandit look. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we go by, and he like, "What's up, home?" And I look, and when I was able to get close, I'm like, "That's that nigga." So I'm like, "Silk," I'm like, "What's up, cuz?" He like, "Shh." He looking around, you like, "Hey, I don't go by that name no more, home." Right? He like, He telling me that he changed his name. You know what I'm saying? He not affiliated with, the Hoovers no more. That he was just the Fresno Crip, right? So I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right. So bam, he went on about his way. I went on about mine, right? But my niggas, I'm telling them, I'm like, hey, like, man, I know that nigga. You feel me? He was in high desert with me. That nigga was a booty bandit. They like, hey, this nigga weird as a motherfucker. I swear to God, he always be shitting. It was him and somebody else that used to do that shit, man. I'm not gonna name that nigga neither. You know what I'm saying? But hey, so I'm like, yo, that's him. He always trying to peek in the showers and shit. Like, yeah, that's him. That's that same nigga. He just lost a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of weight. He lost a lot of weight. And he wears his hair bald. He got all his face shaved. Even his eyebrows is shaved off. Right? Weird looking motherfucker. Weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if I had a picture of him and I showed him to y'all gonna be like, oh yeah, booty bandit all day. Booty bandit all day. You know what I'm saying? If you heard the voice to go with it, oh my God. You feel me? See, that's the type of person that, you know, back in the days when before they took all the homosexuals off the yard, that's definitely the type of person that you will always see in the crowd with the homosexuals. You know what I'm saying? And certain people made that shit acceptable. That shit ain't never acceptable. Us young niggas back then, as young Crips, we used to be on them old niggas about that shit. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want them now. They can't be nowhere in our vicinity or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a breach of security. You feel me? Because they would fuck with certain Crips and then they go fuck with certain Bloods. You know what I'm saying? And they just transferring shit back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I just found it disgusting as fuck. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So all the young Crips and shit, like we wasn't playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? But them type of people you will see. I remember um, being in Tehachapi State Prison in, what was that, 92, 1992, right? And it was me, my big homie Pierre, shout out to Big Pierre from Do Rock, and Ken Dog, shout out to Big Ken Dog from Do Rock, right? I remember us being out on the way pal one day. This was in Tehachapi State Prison, right? I'm a little young nigga, you know what I'm saying? Little skinny young nigga, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm still skinny, but I was young, right? And I remember being on the weight pal with the big homie Pierre while he on the bench. He hitting the weights. Pierre was swole as fuck back then, right? Being Ken Dog just there, I guess Ken Dog was trying to work out. So I remember like looking around, just tripping on the prison. That was my first time in prison. You know what I'm saying? And I'm young. I'm looking around. I'm like, damn, this shit is crazy. It's tripping me out, right? So bam, I look across the yard. I mean, across the way pal, and I see this big black. You know who he looked like? I swear to God. If y'all ever seen that show In the Heat of the Night, the old show In the Heat of the Night with the black and white police, right? The black police, real dark dude, right? That's how this person looked. Just like him, but big as a motherfucker, right? Big. And he wore all his hair combed to the front like how Little Richard used to wear his hair back in the day, right? Permed and combed all, brushed everything to the front. This how this person was here. His name, that person's name is Purple Passion, right? Anybody that's been to prison, you know what I'm saying? Go to prison, you hear all these different stories about different booty bandits. But Purple Passion was the coldest one of them all because he was so big, right? He was known for slapping dudes and knocking them out and, you know, committing sexual acts on them. You know what I'm saying? You would wake up and he would have your wee wee in his mouth, right? Them was the type of stories that I heard about this dude, right? So when I see him, I'm looking, I'm like, damn, but he got all the other homosexuals around him, right? He the only one over there lifting weights, and all the other ones, all the other. I'm talking about he was big and he wasn't fat, bro. I'm talking about he had to have like some both fours, both fives, some 25, 24, 25-inch arms. That's what I mean when I say boats, right? Big old black ass motherfucker, man, right? So all the other homosexuals be around him, I guess, keeping Usalam on him or something. I don't know, right? But I remember asking my big homie Pierre, I'm like, who the fuck is that? He's like, oh man. He said, little homie, that's Purple Passion. That's Purple Passion. That motherfucker there. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something to him. You know what I'm saying? He better not ever get no thoughts. I'm like, so that's when the homie get to running down everything to me about this dude. I'm like, wow, that's crazy, right? So that was the only time, the first and only time I had seen that person, that Purple Passion person, right? Why they called him Purple Passion, I don't know. But any and everybody that's been to prison, you know what I'm saying, know that name. You know what I'm saying? Because there's many stories about that dude, what he was doing and how he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? But again, they don't keep them type of people on the main line no more. They took them all off the main line back around 2007, 2008. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's still a couple of them lingering around. That was like the very ass last end of them snatching all them. Feel me? But yeah, the dude Silk, man. I run into him. You know, he done changed his name. He done changed his game. He don't go by Silk no more. He go by some other crazy ass name. He don't associate himself with the Fresno Hoovers no more. He's just the Fresno Crip now. You know what I'm saying? So what ended up happening with him, um, it was a riot between the blacks and Mexicans, right? So the riot kicked off in the area in a part of the prison that's called the industry. Industry is okay where the prison yard is at and all the buildings. Okay, that's one entity. Then there's a wall, a brick wall, big old brick wall that separate that part of the prison from the industry. The industry is all on the other side of that wall. So you got to get search going through there. Is like Fort Knox. You know what I'm saying? You get search going and coming back. Strip search, by the way. Strip search down to nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when you get back there, you can't come and go. Once you back there, you back there until your work hours is over with. So they all locked back there. There's hundreds of dudes back there, right? So a riot kick off back there in all the different little work areas. Silk ended up in a class or in a work area where it was majority Mexicans, Southsiders, Southside Hispanics, right? Probably like 20 of them against 8 or 9 blacks, right? And then in the other classes, the blacks was deeper. You know what I'm saying? So when it kicked off in one, it kicked off in different ones. Just so happened the one Silk was in, you know, he got the shit end of the stick because they was in there deep. You know what I'm saying? They beat him good and they almost killed him. You know what I mean? And from that point on, they took him out of the prison and I don't know where he ended up at. That, you know, was really an isolated incident. You feel me? So the majority of the people that was involved in that, they ended up transferring out to different prisons and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just so that's part of their strategy of keeping the tension down, so it won't be no further riots jumping off. You know what I'm saying? People feeling like they got to retaliate for this or for that. You know what I'm saying? But he ended up getting jacked up pretty good. You know what I'm saying? That's real. But yeah, man. Oh, this is something else. I'm gonna move on to a different topic because that's pretty much where it ends with Silk, the Fresno booty bandit, the Fresno Crip booty bandit. But somebody else, one of the viewers wanted me to speak on the people in prison with life sentences, with regular life sentences, and then the people that have the LWOPs, the life without possibility of parole, right? Well, the difference between having a regular life sentence and having an LWOP is having a regular life sentence, you can go up to the board. Um, let's say you've been in prison. I think they give you like 5 to 8 years of being in prison before you make your first board hearing. It might be a little longer than that. Really depends on your case. So anyway, and how much time you got, right? Because there's different numbers that's put on life sentences. But anyway, you can go to the board and just so happen to get released with a regular life sentence. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't usually happen back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You had people that had 7 to life. They used to give out shit like 7 to life, 1 to life back in the day. But I knew some dudes that had 7 to life that ended up doing like 18, 19, 20 years off of that. You know what I'm saying? But eventually they ended up going home at some point. But it's all about who you get on that board, and if they are, or if they feel that you're no longer a threat to society, you know, and that you have been in some way, the most important way, rehabilitated, you know what I'm saying, then you have action at going home on a regular life sentence. You know what I'm saying? And then on the LWOP, life without possibility of parole, you don't have no action. That means you're gonna die in prison. You feel me? That's just a lower form of the death penalty without them having to gas you up, you know what I'm saying, and kill and take your life. You know what I'm saying? So they just let you sit in prison for the rest of your life until you pass away. You know what I mean? So typically when you get the LWOP and you have absolutely no action period on an appeal or none of that, you shouldn't be in prison forever on the LWOP, life without possibility of parole. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got to remember this. Times in these days have changed when it comes to these life sentences. You know what I'm saying? They have let a lot of people out that have had life sentences. I haven't really particularly heard of too many people with LWOPs getting released like that. You know, I know it's a couple. I just seen one on my boy Crazo, the Gangbangers Life coach. One of his homeboys just got out that had an LWOP. Shout out to him and congratulations on his release, man. Blessings to you. But yeah, but that's not a rarity right now because the laws that they've changed to let regular people with regular life sentences, people with regular life sentences out. You know what I'm saying? Those laws has, you know, affected them, and eventually it'll trickle down to the LWOPs. You know what I'm saying? But I was asked like, what do they be on? What do lifers be on? People with life and life without possibility of parole. Well, shit, they want to go home. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like these people have a chaotic way of living in prison. You gonna be what you are gonna be in prison. Either you gonna grow up and you're gonna allow your mentality to grow up, or you're gonna find a crowd where it's constant politics and chaos, a whole bunch of trips to the hole and a whole bunch of trips to the shoe. You feel me? Prison is gonna be what you make it. It ain't gonna be nothing more, nothing less than what you make it. You know what I'm saying? As a man or a woman for that instance. Because they doing the same type of time that we, do. Only difference is the body parts. You feel me? Trust me. So yeah, man, the people with life sentences, regular life sentences, and with LWOPs, they want to go home. And the people with LWOPs, it's not like, you know, they running around hating the world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got some that's just evil like that. You do, but it's not a lot. It ain't to the point where it's just constant chaos and bullshit going on. Nah, in that case, you'll be hearing about all kind of riots from unruly niggas doing shit, and that ain't how prison is. You know what I'm saying? It's order. You know what I mean? It's certain things, certain rules and regulations installed for a reason. That's to keep the bullshit down. You feel me? Which is why when they took all the homosexuals off the main line, that was the most beautiful thing that they could have done for prison. The most beautiful thing. But yet and still they pass out condoms, although they have removed all the homosexuals off the main line. They pass out condoms in everywhere in prison. Condoms. Actual condoms. There's condoms in prison. You feel me? So it's crazy, man. To say the least. It's crazy. Bang the chat up though. Let me know how y'all feel about, you know, these topics, what I brought to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Get active in the chat. You know what I mean? I always appreciate that. You feel me? But yeah, man, people with life sentences, man, they trying to get to the house. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they've been down a number of years. You got people, man. Look, like I told y'all about Old Man Andy. Did I tell y'all the full story about Old Man Andy? I think I did in one of my past shows. But Old Man Andy was 72 years old when he was with me, right? The last time I seen him. He's in a wheelchair, but he was cold. He was a cold, 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 calculating old man, right? 72 years old though. And he had LWOP, So I don't know what his case was. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I want to know. But at 71 and you got LWOP, he was locked up at that time when he was with me for I believe 40, 41 years, if I'm not mistaken, if not longer, right? And I told y'all the story of how he showed me his photo album and all his pictures was in black and white, all of them. He had afro, and so did the woman that he was with, bell bottom pants and shit. All his photos, I was like, damn, OG, like you've been down a long time. He was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Old man was cold though, man. I think I told y'all the story about him, man. But you can go back and check out, some of the other shows that I did in regards to that. I'm not gonna feed y'all everything on here. But old man Andy was cold. He didn't like me. You feel me? He didn't like me at all. But I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to close this off, man. I don't want to hold y'all up. I appreciate y'all hour. I appreciate y'all time and attention. Thank you all, man, for banging the chat up. You know what I'm saying? Thank all my mods, everybody that joined us tonight, that continue to join us. You know what I'm saying? That plan on joining us. Thank you. Thank you. Your time ain't never wasted. You know what I mean? Like I tell y'all, trying to bring originality just a little bit, you know what I'm saying, with a little bit of twist here and there, but I know what I got to stick to now. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get life reality, real life reality. You know what I'm saying? Game. And we bring game to each other. You know what I'm saying? I've learned a lot doing this show. A lot about stuff that shit, I felt like I should have knew as a grown man. You feel me? Like I was told, it's just certain things you should know at a certain age. You feel me? But hey, ain't that part of life though? We go through life and we pick up what we need to pick up and we learn at our own pace. Things just can't be rushed. You feel me? And if you're trying to be great, you definitely can't rush nothing. Can't rush greatness. Not at all. I'm not in a rush to get there. I'm enjoying the ride though, like y'all should be. You know what I'm saying? And we going to enjoy the ride together. You know what I mean? Here at Swang Glow at this round table. That's what we do. You know. But look, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go, man. I want y'all to have a beautiful rest of y'all night. You feel me? Make sure you're being safe out there, well protected. You know, it's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? I heard Quincy Jones died. You know what I mean? He was 91. He lived a nice full life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, rest in peace to Quincy Jones, man. And again, rest in peace to the homie Big Crazy Drac from Schoolyard Crip. You know what I'm saying? Condolences go out to his family. You know what I'm saying? Extending blessings to him. You know what I mean? That's why I always tell y'all, man, love the people that you got in your life. Let them know that. Let them know how much you appreciate their presence. Them being around, you being able to talk to them and have conversations with them. Appreciate that time while you can. You feel me? Because we don't never know when our number gonna get called. We don't never know, man. And we don't want to invite that number any earlier than we got to. So be careful what you do, be careful what you say, especially who you saying it to and who you doing it to. You feel me? But look, on that note, I'm gonna let y'all get up out of here because I'm gonna get on up out of here. I appreciate y'all time, man. I appreciate y'all ear. Thank you all for banging the chat up. Thank you all for participating. You know what I'm saying? Love and appreciate y'all. And again, thank you all for joining, to all the new viewers, man. And to those of y'all that haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. It's free, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? Look down at your screen up under this video right there, say subscribe. It should be in white because if you ain't already subscribed, it's going to be white. So push that button. It's for free. You feel me? If you're feeling this video, hit that like button. Share this video to somebody, man, that you feel it'll be educational to. You feel me? That's all we trying to do, man. Is educate. You know what I'm saying? Through original creation. You feel me? But look, y'all stay safe out there. Love and appreciate each other. You know what I'm saying? Until we meet back at this round table, man, y'all stay safe. Have a wonderful, beautiful night. Love y'all, man. Triple down.